is 23 minutes after 7 o'clock, and it is 23 days into May. Good morning. You're listening to AM Ocala Live on The Source, WOCA. We are broadcasting live from the Paddock Mall just outside the WOCA commissary, where you too can get a chocolate milk. I think they have chocolate milk in there somewhere. Good morning, Robin. How you doing over there?
I'm good. Good morning, Larry. How are you?
Good. It is 68 degrees right now. Let's see how the rain is going to do today. Ooh, look at this. There's only a 15% chance of rain and about a 40% chance there'll be a hollow sound to my voice. There we go. 15% chance of rain today, pretty much all day, but that's a big improvement from what we've seen. Tomorrow, no mention of rain in tomorrow's forecast, but there is on Friday about a 65%, Saturday an 85% chance, and Sunday a 90% chance. So it looks like it'll be another rainy weekend, but you got a little reprieve today. Go someplace and have some fun.
Yeah.
You know, we'll tell you some things you can do later on. 7:35, we're going to talk about the news, and we're going to have visits. We're going to visit with you and me and the coffee machine and everything else.
Okay.
Do you know, I'm really starting to think that we went backwards with coffee.
Why is that?
Well, we started out with the percolator, right?
Yes.
And then we had the paper drip. And now we have the Keurig drip, right?
Yeah, right.
I think the better tasting is the percolator.
Yes.
So I think we went backwards. We should have started with the drip, and then somebody should have said, wait a minute, why don't we make a bigger drip instead of these little drips? Then we can do lots of cups at one time. That would have been Mr. Coffee. See? We could have started with the K-cup, then the Mr. Coffee, and then somebody could have said, you know what's really better? No paper at all. Just put like a metal canister with holes in it. And how are you going to get the water into it? Just let it boil from the bottom. Go up through a little tube. You'll be able to see it. There'll be a glass little thing. You'll be able to see it popping up.
Exactly.
It'll make the room smell amazing.
Yeah.
I think we went backwards. Galen Unold will be on with us at 8:05. Oh my gosh, I have a topic I'm looking forward to doing with Galen. Let me find my little thing here. Oh gosh, I'm always prepared and then not quite there.
Okay.
Give me a second here. I will find it. Here it is. Okay, here it is. Yes, this is what I want to do. Memorial Day's coming up. A lot of people are going to head out to the beach. And I have here the best boardwalks in Florida.
Oh, nice.
The best.
And your shoes get so hot, you wish your tired feet were fireproof.
We could probably go outside of Florida, too. We might know some outside of the state.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a great song.
I did like the boardwalk in New Jersey. That was nice.
And I've never been to that one, so
yeah,
everybody. You went by the Atlantic City area? Is that what you mean?
Atlantic City area, but then there was another boardwalk that we went to, which was way better. It was really great.
And the one in Daytona, it's on the list. I'll just tell you in advance. It's not a boardwalk. It's a sidewalk.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that makes a difference. Although you can't get under the boardwalk in Daytona. You get under the pier. All right, so that's kind of a fun topic. The top 10 boardwalks in the state of Florida. News bites at 8:35. That's when we read the news, keep our opinions to ourselves, and just give you a chance to catch up on the news without having to put up with us. Except for our voices and our mispronunciations. That happens. It's just part of what we do. We mispronounce a lot.
Yeah.
Dr. Benjamin Brown is coming on at 9:05. Dr. Brown is an assistant professor of neurosurgery at the Mayo Clinic in Jacksonville. He's talking to us about stroke. May is Stroke Awareness Month. Stroke is the 5th leading cause of death in the United States, by the way. John Poss coming on at 9:20. He's a former cancer patient and the chairman and CEO of GB Sciences, talking to us about the medical magic of cannabis. In other words, marijuana.
Yeah.
I've heard read a few things about maybe there's something to cannabis that can help with cancer. So I'm sure that's what he's talking about. I would assume. Jack E. Kozakowski is coming on at 9:50. He's the president and CEO of Junior Achievement USA, talking to us about a new survey of career ambitions and educational priorities of students between 13 and 17. Gosh,
that's pretty cool.
Between 13 and 17.
Yep.
Connie Mann coming into the studio. Connie is a very prolific author, but she's also a licensed boat captain over on the Silver River and all the other rivers here in Florida. If you've ever gone to the Silver River Museum, you might have met her. She is one of the teachers over there. She teaches children about things. She introduces them to their first alligator. Helping women and children in developing countries. She's an amazing lady and a very prolific, talented writer. Her new book is out. It's called Deadly Melody.
Yeah.
Deadly Melody. Dr.
Nice.
Paul Williams is coming on. Didn't he write a lot of songs? This Paul Williams is a journalist. He writes for USA Today and a bunch of other publications. He's got a book called The Killing of Uncle Sam, The Demise of the United States of America. And I get his points in there, and hopefully he's wrong, but he is right in some ways. So you'll find out why I think so. Although I hope the direction we're going is wrong. Anyway, Dr. Williams will be on at 10:35 to talk to us about that. I'm going to call it midday with Joe instead of noon with Joe.
Okay.
Midday with Joe.
Okay, excellent.
Because it's not quite noon; it's almost noon. So midday with Joe today. The topic I have for Joe is a secret.
Okay. Is midday one word or two words?
I think it's a hyphenated word. I'm not really sure. I'm not really sure.
I got
All right, so we'll take a little break, and we'll be right back. And looking forward to having you on the phone. If you want to call in, the number is 622-9622. We'll take calls in about 4.5 minutes.
Sun beats down and burns the tar up on the roof. And your shoes get so hot, you wish your tired feet were fireproof. Under the boardwalk, down by the sea, yeah. On a blanket with my baby, that's where I'll be.
Fox News Radio, I'm Chris Foster. Among yesterday's primary results in 4 states, a potentially historic one in Georgia.
Georgia Democrats have chosen Atlanta lawyer Stacey Abrams to run for governor. If she makes it, she'll be the first African-American woman in the U.S. to run a state. Come November, she'll be up against either Republican Lieutenant Governor Casey Cagle or Secretary of State Brian Kemp. The men have a runoff election coming up in July.
Fox's Jill Nato. Banking rules passed after the financial crisis 10 years ago are now partially rolled back in a bill passed by Congress and headed to President Trump's desk.
The bill increases the threshold which banks are deemed too big to fail, that require strict capital and planning requirements. A move designed to ease regulations for regional banks and smaller financial institutions. Banks with assets of more than $250 billion are still subject to those stricter rules.
Fox's Jared Halpern. Fox News. We report, you decide.
When you're hiring, you don't want to sort through dozens of irrelevant resumes. You want an efficient way to get to a short list of qualified candidates. That's why you need Indeed.com. Post a job in minutes. Set up screener questions based on your job requirements. Then zero in on qualified candidates using our intuitive online dashboard. Discover why 3 million businesses use Indeed for hiring. Post a job today at Indeed.com/hire. Search for greatness. Search Indeed.
Dad, what are you doing?
Cramming for college.
I'm the one going to college.
Yeah, but we need to figure out how we're going to pay for it all.
Discover Student Loans.
Discover does student loans?
Yeah, they're one of the top student loan lenders in the country. It takes 15 minutes or less to apply, and there are no fees for the life of the loan. Best of all, I can earn cash rewards if I get good grades.
Really?
Yeah, we still have time to apply and get a great rate.
So I can just chill. College kids still say that, right?
No one says that, Dad.
Really?
Yeah.
Visit discoverstudentloans.com to apply today. Limitations apply.
Ad Council.
Hey, sweetheart, you look upset.
I just don't know how we're going to handle everything coming up these next few weeks. Graduation, Father's Day, Natalie's wedding.
Tell you what, make a list of all the events and what you want to serve. Then, just call Honey Baked Ham at 861-0011. They'll prepare everything to perfection, and they'll even deliver.
Where are they? I may just go by.
2709 Southwest 27th Avenue, just behind Best Buy.
I'm going to use Honey Baked Ham for everything.
Honey Baked Ham, making every day a special occasion.
Mondays are usually hard, coming back from a weekend and trying to get the week started off on the right foot. Well, that is about to change. R.C. Jones, prophetess and pastor representing Hazon Ministry, will be joining us at 9:20 a.m. each Monday. Hazon Ministry aims to build families through love, power, prayer, and the Word of God. Again, join R.C. Jones and start the week off on a positive note every Monday at 9:20 a.m. right here on The Source, WOCA. Here is your 1-minute news brief from The Source, WOCA. The Marion County Sheriff's Office is reporting a shooting in Summerfield yesterday evening that left one man in critical condition and another man in stable condition. A series of sinkholes has opened in the water retention area on the campus of Forest High School. The parents of slain Florida teen Trayvon Martin say the Weinstein Company owes them at least $150,000 for optioning the rights to their book in order to make a yet unaired television series based on their son's legacy. The League of Women Voters and students from the University of Florida and FSU have sued Florida's chief election official over a 4-year-old edict banning the use of college buildings as early voting sites. Democratic legislators have failed in their bid to force the Republican-controlled legislature to give more money to public schools, and Disney World has launched an online system for lost and found items. And that is your news brief from The Source.
This is an urgent health notice for all residents suffering from back, neck, knee, and wrist pain. You may qualify for a pain-relieving brace at little or no cost to you, but the deadline is fast approaching. Simply call the Health Alert Hotline now.
You heard right. You may qualify for a pain-relieving back, neck, knee, or wrist brace. These items may even be covered by Medicare or your private insurance. The Health Alert Hotline is your brace company. These specialized braces have been tested for pain relief. Call us toll-free right now to determine your eligibility and to learn how to use your private insurance or Medicare to minimize your out-of-pocket cost. Don't wait. If the deadline passes, you may lose your opportunity to get a pain-relieving back, neck, knee, or wrist brace at little or no cost to you.
800-368-6704. 800-368-6704. 800-368-6704. That's 800-368-6704.
You are ready to buy that house that fits your needs, but how do you find it? Easy. Call Angie at 352-361-8359. Angie gets with you to get that information you need to buy that house. Angie is more than just an agent with Roberts Real Estate. She's a pro with heart. So you call her at 352-361-8359, and you will know you have the right person.
I'm Angie Umpleby, and I'm looking forward to working with you when you call me at 352-361-8359. That's 352-361-8359.
All right, thank you. 25 minutes before 8 o'clock. How you doing anyway? It's a beautiful day, and it looks like it's going to stay beautiful all day long. We're not going to complain about today. It looks like a little bit of rain on Wednesday, and then it increasingly gets more likely to have rain Thursday and Friday and Saturday and Sunday. But today and tomorrow look pretty good. Pretty good. I don't know if you got anything planned for today and tomorrow. When is Memorial Day? This coming Monday, right?
This coming Monday, yeah.
Okay. Let's start with something light. By the way, the phone lines are open. If you, the number is 622-9622. If you Google Brandy Chastain this morning, you will see something that is a visual that I can't show you, but I'm showing it to you.
Oh, okay.
Okay, that's Brandy on the left, and that's a new plaque to honor her on the right. For you who don't remember, she was the soccer hero. Remember the game-winning penalty shootout goal in the 1999 World Cup final.
That's right.
She made the news because she took her shirt off. I mean, she had a sports bra underneath, right?
Yes, exactly.
So, I don't understand what all the hoopla was about that, but that's how you might remember her. But anyway, so she was honored with a plaque, and it doesn't look like her at all.
Oh, it looks horrible.
I thought that looked like Gary Busey. When I saw that plaque, I thought Gary Busey, and I wasn't the only one who thought that, by the way. I was reading, and some people thought it looked like Jimmy Carter. I guess in a way it does. Some people say not Andy Rooney, but Mickey Rooney.
Yeah, it kind of looks like the guy on the face of the nickel.
The guy on the face of the nickel.
Yeah.
Isn't that Thomas Jefferson?
Is that who that is? Okay.
I'm not sure. Really?
Look at this. Isn't that a disgusting?
How
could they do that?
What is it with sculptors that they can't get the likeness?
My gosh, how could anybody ever approve that? Her people should never have approved that.
So when she saw that, she was there for the unveiling, and she said, "Well, it's not a flattering likeness." But she was very nice. It's not very flattering, but it's kind of nice to have that. But the guy who did it said he would try to make it better. He'll redo it.
Try to make it better. He's got to do the whole thing.
I'm saying, you're right. Yeah.
He has to do the whole thing.
That's right. If you Google Brandi, Brandi, Chastain, Chasta.
That's a disgrace. Absolutely. I mean, what is he, so full of himself? And then the people around him say, "Oh, yeah, that looks marvelous."
Remember the statue of Lucille Ball?
Oh.
Somewhere upstate New York?
Is this the same guy?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know. What's going on?
Yeah, her statue is awful, too.
Well, our artists have said for a long time that we should be required to have a license.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. If you're going to work in the field of the arts.
Wow.
Anyway, there you go. All right, let's see what else we have here. Anything else that's kind of on the light side, and then we'll try to do the heavy stuff, I guess. I don't like heavy stuff. I'm not a big fan of heavy stuff.
No,
here's a light one out of Disney. Disney has now an online system for lost and found items.
Oh.
It's really not theirs, though. They've really teamed up with a website that's already been doing this. It's called Chargerback. Mm-hmm. But somehow Disney has partnered with them. I'm not sure how this works, but if you've ever lost anything in Disney, whether it was the theme park, the water park, Disney Springs, ESPN, even their transportation, you left something in a mini car, whatever, minivan.
They might have my badge from WCA. I'm going to have to go online and look.
Well, here's the bad news. Here's the bad news.
Oh, okay.
Disney keeps important items for 90 days, not so necessary important items for 30 days.
Oh, okay. Well, that.
An important item would be a credit card, a purse, a camera, prescription eyeglasses, and I guess there are other things on the list. That's 90 days. The not-so-important things that they hold for 30 days are hats, toys, clothing, sunglasses, non-prescription sunglasses.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, but here's the part to this that I want you to know, that if you've ever lost something on a cruise ship, which has nothing to do with Disney, or on an airline, a rental car, you may still be able to find your stuff at the same website, Chargerback. So... It's not really Disney exclusive. It's just that it's in the news because Disney puts everything in the news.
Yeah, they do.
So, but just if you've ever lost anything there, and you're right, you did lose that name badge.
That's right.
When you got sick on the Aerosmith roller coaster.
Yeah, it
just whipped right off.
Right off, yeah.
It's got a magnet on the back. It's probably stuck on the ride somewhere. Nobody ever found it yet. When they find it, I mean, it's got your name, and it's got the radio station identification, right? So.
I know, it does. You'd think somebody would have called here or mailed it back to us.
All right, let's go to the heavy stuff. There was a shooting in Summerfield last night. 2 men were taken to the hospital. We don't have their names. We don't have their ages. All we know is that one of them is in critical condition and the other one is in stable condition. The incident took place at 9425 Southeast 145th Place around just before 8 p.m. last night in Summerfield. So that's all we know.
Gosh.
So prayers for everybody related to or friends with those 2 men. And when are we going to learn to stop doing those kinds of things? This wasn't a break-in, it sounds like. It sounds like they were just arguing. So, and I don't know. Some sinkholes opened up on the campus of Forest High School. However, they opened up in probably the best place a sinkhole could open up, in a retention area.
Well, thank goodness for that.
Yeah, I'm saying if that school's had their share already of not so good news. This not so good news is not so bad news. It's up in if it's in the retention area, it just makes the retention area more able to hold water, I would think, right?
I think so.
Hold more water, which, by the way, a lot of retention areas are filled with water right now. Right?
Yes, it is, for sure.
The parents of Trayvon Martin was killed by Zimmerman. What was the guy's first name again?
Zimmerman.
Whatever.
Yeah, I can't remember.
Over in Sanford. Anyway, so they wrote a book to honor their son, and it was just a horribly tragic story. I was always opposed to the Zimmerman thing. I always thought he was guilty, but everybody disagreed with me at that time. They probably still do. But anyway, so this is the boy that was walking through a neighborhood with, what was that candy called again? The colorful candy?
Skittles?
Skittles, yeah.
Skittles.
That's all he had, Skittles.
Yeah.
And Zimmerman shot him, killed him. Anyway, so they wrote a book about him, and the Weinstein Company optioned the rights for their book for a TV series based on the book, I guess. And so they now say the Weinstein Company owes them $150,000. They probably owe them more than that.
Yeah.
That's what I would think for something
so.
like that. But anyway, so that's in the news. The University of Florida up in Gainesville, and I guess FSU up in Tallahassee, both banned the use of college buildings as early voting sites, and now they are being sued because early voting sites should be available to students on campus. According to the lawsuit. The lawsuit is being filed by the League of Women Voters of Florida and 6 students from both of those universities. Anyway, so yeah, that 15-day early voting thing does come in handy, and I don't understand why the schools didn't want early voting on campus.
I know.
Since they have voting on campus, it doesn't make sense why they wouldn't allow early voting. Maybe there was an inconvenient element to that. I don't know. But
or maybe they don't want non-students on the campus to come in to early vote. Because
that could be it, yeah.
Maybe they don't want anybody that's not a student on the campus to come on
that could be.
And vote.
President Trump reportedly will travel to New York today for a speech on the need to eradicate the MS-13 gang. This is a violent gang that you might have heard some horror stories about. He came under fire last week during a discussion with undocumented immigrants, a discussion of undocumented immigrants in jail, including MS-13 members. He called them animals, and those who don't like Trump say he was referring to all undocumented immigrants. Those who support him say no, he was talking about the MS-13 members. I couldn't tell you. The reported visit comes after federal data showed that Immigration and Customs Enforcement agents under the Trump administration have been arresting more undocumented immigrants without a criminal record. Trump will speak in Bethpage, Long Island, not too far from where I grew up. So you go at the office of U.S. Representative Peter King, or near his office, somewhere over there in Bethpage. The Eastern Conference title is on the line as the Washington Capitals take on the Tampa Bay Lightning in Game 7 today. This is something your daughter is following, isn't she?
Yes, she is.
Doesn't she actually go to these games?
Yes, she does, and her friend has a box, so she just has the best time ever.
Wow. The Capitals forced the decisive 7th game back in Tampa by winning at home for the first time in the series, blanking the Lightning 3-0 in Washington. Well, 3-0 rather. I never know how to read these things. A win for the Capitals today would send them to the final for just the second time in franchise history. They lost to the Detroit Red Wings 20 years ago. I used to have Red Wing shoes.
We used to have a place here, right here in Ocala, right next the road, right next door.
Yeah, next, like where Stevie B's is now, right? Wasn't that Red Wing shoes where Stevie B's is?
Yes.
I think it was.
Yeah, I think it was right there, yeah. Because the bank was on the other side.
Who was the talk show host that always talked about Red Wing shoes? Oh, it was Chuck Harder, right?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Whatever happened to Chuck?
I don't know. Might still be in White Springs.
Let's see. North Korea could dismantle its nuclear site as early as today in a move toward denuclearization ahead of the planned summit between President Trump and Kim Jong-un next month. Punggye-ri, located in the mountainous northeast of the country, is the site where all 6 of North Korea's nuclear tests have been held. The dismantling of the site, according to North Korea's official Korean Central News Agency, will include collapsing all of its tunnels with explosions and removing all observation facilities, research buildings, and security posts. The move comes after Trump suggested the summit could be delayed or canceled after North Korea ramped up its rhetoric, insisting the U.S. and South Korea end joint military exercises in the region. That's interesting, huh?
It's very interesting. I think this is just fascinating.
It's interesting that you can dismantle a whole program in one day.
I know.
I don't know.
I just don't understand it.
Was it much of a program if you could dismantle the whole thing in a day?
Yeah.
Let's see. USA Gymnastics CEO Carrie Perry today will apologize to the sexual abuse victims of Larry Nassar as she testifies before a House panel. She says, I commit to you that I will keep their words and experiences at the core of every decision I make every day as the leader of this organization. She made that statement in her opening remarks. She was released by the House Subcommittee on Oversight and Investigation. She also confirmed the organization is in mediation talks with women and girls who have sued the national governing body. Hundreds of women, including several Olympic champions, have accused the longtime USA Gymnastics team doctor of abusing them under the guise of medical treatment. Nassar, who is 54 years old, was found guilty and is serving a 60-year federal prison sentence on child pornography charges.
Gee.
Wow.
He better not get out. There better not be any, just early release for him.
Interesting choice
appeals and all that.
Interesting choice of a Tennessee woman serving a life sentence for murdering a man while she allegedly was being sex trafficked is scheduled to get a clemency hearing today. She's 30 years old. Her name is Cyntoia Brown. She was convicted in the 2004 murder of 43-year-old Nashville real estate agent Johnny Allen. She was 16 years old at the time of the crime.
My God.
Her advocates and lawyers say she feared for her life when she shot Allen in his home as he lay naked in bed beside her. Her case drew international attention after she was championed by celebrities including Rihanna and Kim Kardashian. Clemency for Brown ultimately will be decided by Governor Bill Haslam, now in his final year in office. Separately, a federal appeals court will review Brown's life sentence on June 14th.
Gosh.
It sounds like she needs a break. I don't know. What do you think? I don't know. Just based on what I read there.
I think so. I mean, she was 16. He was sex trafficking
Who knows
her
what else
and everything.
might be.
And,
anyway.
yeah, he was probably pumping her up with drugs and just ruining her life. Totally. Well, good. The scumbag, he's no longer here, so...
This is a story that everybody seems to be talking about. There's a 30-year-old guy still living with his parents up in New York. His parents tried to get him to get out. He has sued them for telling him to get out. A New York judge yesterday booted this 30-year-old man from his parents' home. This is in Syracuse, New York. His parents sued him because he refused to leave. New York State Supreme Court Judge Donald Greenwood told Michael Rotondo, that's the 30-year-old's name, pointing at him with his right index finger, quote, I want you out of that household, unquote. After the ruling, Michael Rotondo vowed he would appeal. Rotondo said, this is outrageous.
He's 30 years old.
According to ABC News, Rotondo, who runs a website business, moved back home 8 years ago after losing a job. After the court ruling, he said he would retrieve some things from the family home, but is not sure where he will stay. ABC reported Rotondo's parents, Mark and Christina Rotondo, have claimed their son would not leave the house despite several notices beginning in early February. Rotondo countered he was not given enough notice.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God. He's just lazy, that's all. He just doesn't want to. He's such a baby.
In the letter from the parents, they wrote, quote, there are jobs available even for those with a poor work history like you. Get one. You have to work.
There you go. Exactly. There are jobs.
The Rotondos say they even offered $1,100 to help him find a place of his own. And though the son admits he took the money, it was not enough to live anywhere else, he says. He says, I spent it on expenses. The judge asked Adult Protective Services to check on the case. According to court filings, Michael Rotondo does not contribute to the family's expenses at all and does not help out with the chores. And his parents even offered to help him get started on his own, as we already mentioned.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
Is he a lazy, no-good so-and-so? That's awful. That's awful. There was some movie with Sarah Jessica Parker called Failure to Launch. And it was one of those funny guys. And the son was living home. And then the girl was hired to make him fall in love with her so he would leave the house and realize he shouldn't be living there.
Did it work?
It was a comedy.
Did it work?
Oh, I won't tell in case you want to see it, and in case anybody else wants to see it.
Well,
But
that's
this
that's
is
what this
ridiculous.
parents need to do.
Mhm.
Wonder what this guy looks like, though.
Yeah, exactly.
You gotta, if he's not good looking, forget that idea. It's
Well,
not-
no, they paid the woman to, be his friend and get him out of the house. So she makes money.
Oh,
you
I
see.
see. So she's not really falling in love with him.
Right, exactly.
Ah,
But that's her job, but she doesn't tell him that.
Gotcha,
So that's,
okay.
But no, this is ridiculous. If you're 30 years old, you need to get a job. You need to be out on your own and not expect handouts. I mean, this guy is nuts.
A sinkhole has opened up on the north lawn of the White House, and it appears to be growing bigger.
Wow.
It was noticeably bigger. It says here, it's now more than a foot long. 1 foot. That's not much of a sinkhole.
No, not like the ones in the villages, for Pete's sake.
For Pete's sake.
That's 30 feet.
Steve Herman from The Voice of America apparently was there.
It's a new tourist attraction. They're entrepreneurial.
He said a second sinkhole has opened next to the first one.
Mhm.
The sinkhole is near the press briefing room. Parts of Washington, D.C. are built on a swamp. Geological issues in the city include forebulge collapse, whatever that means.
hmm
I guess it means it could sink.
Gosh.
Disney World is built on a swamp.
It is.
By the way.
It is. They should go with their engineers and, contract them to come and fix it.
2 women who work at McDonald's restaurants in Detroit, Chicago, Los Angeles, and 6 other cities have filed sexual harassment complaints in the past few days with the federal government against the company and its franchises, not to be confused with its French fries, which say they ignored or retaliated against them for such complaints.
There you go.
The complaints, the claimants rather, including a 15-year-old from St. Louis, said in a conference call with journalists that they were ignored, mocked, or terminated for reporting sexual inappropriate behavior.
Mm-hmm.
The accusations included claims that coworkers or supervisors propositioned, groped, and exposed themselves to the women. Kimberly Lawson, who's 25 years old and makes $8.75 an hour in the McDonald's in Kansas City, Missouri, said, "I felt I had no choice but to tolerate it." That is really despicable behavior, by the way.
It is very despicable. I mean, you're out there, you're working for yourself, you're getting a job, you're doing everything right.
Every man who is embarrassed by their fellow men's behaviors, when you hear about that kind of stuff, I mean, we need to really, they are ruining the reputation of men in general.
They are, for sure.
So
yeah.
we need to have a talk with these guys.
Mhm, that's
If you
right.
know of a guy doing this kind of stuff and you find it despicable, but you're also not saying anything, you got to say, hey, you want to be able to drive home at the end of the day?
Mhm.
You better stop doing that stuff, because I know somebody who knows how to flatten tires. It's not me.
That's right.
and if your tires have slash marks in them, I didn't do it.
No, I don't know.
And I don't know who did it. But I can tell you this, if I hear about you doing that again, you might be walking home.
Yeah,
Unless you can afford 4 new tires on your McDonald's income.
exactly.
Tires are not cheap.
No.
All right, here's the kind of story I always am curious about. So we know what happened 4.5 billion years ago, apparently. There is an asteroid in the same path as Jupiter, but it's flying in opposite directions of Jupiter. So while Jupiter goes left to right, the asteroid goes right to left. It's known as 2015 BZ509 because it was discovered in 2015. However, now scientists say that this asteroid, which is 2 miles across, was formed in a different galaxy.
Oh.
Now, how do you know that? I don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
We don't even know everything about what's under the sea,
Yeah.
right?
Exactly.
We're still discovering things in the pyramids.
Yeah, for
And
sure.
yet we know that an asteroid came from another galaxy
That's right. It's amazing.
4.5 billion years ago.
It's amazing.
I don't have any information to counter what they're saying. I'll just have to take their word for it. But why is it that we still don't know everything about the pyramids?
Yeah, exactly. No, we don't.
Still discovering stuff, right?
Yeah, and still wondering, how did they do that?
Anyway, so. Let's see. Cryptocurrencies could be the latest case of more than a century's worth of failed efforts to revolutionize money, according to Robert Schiller, famous for his warnings about the dot-com and housing bubbles. The Nobel Prize-winning economist compared the euphoria toward almost 2,000 cryptocurrencies created since 2009 to the rise of time money in the 1800s. I guess there was something called time money back then.
Okay.
Anyway, he says these cryptocurrencies are not going to revolutionize money. They are going to fail. I don't know. I'm just telling you what he says.
Yeah. Well, no, it's because whenever we go somewhere on the internet to see where cryptocurrency buys, it always goes to the site that you buy them from.
I know. Kneeling for the national anthem could result in a 15-yard penalty in the NFL, according to an idea reportedly being considered by the NFL. NFL owners discussed the proposal yesterday, according to Sports Illustrated, which noted the proposal would allow home teams to decide whether players from both sides come out of the locker room during the anthem and enforce penalties for kneeling if the players do. So there you go.
Gee.
All right, I guess we're up against the break. Galen Newnold is up next. The topic with Galen today is boardwalks, the best boardwalks in Florida.
Nice.
You have some boardwalks you want to let us know about that's not on the list? We will have the phone lines open. Maybe some boardwalks you've gone to in other states or other countries even, right?
Yes.
So we'll take a little break and be right back with Galen Newnold. This is The Source, WOCA Ocala.
On a blanket with my baby, that's where I'll be. Under the boardwalk, out of the sun. Under the boardwalk, we'll be having some fun.
The weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Safe boating is no accidents. More clouds and sun and rather humid on this Wednesday with a shower or thunderstorm around in the afternoon, high 84 to 88. Partly to mostly cloudy Wednesday night, low 68 to 72. Variable cloudiness Thursday with a couple of showers and a thunderstorm, high 83 to 87. For Friday, clouds and some sun with a couple of showers and a thunderstorm or two, high 81 to 85. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg.
Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM.
Fox News Radio, I'm Chris Foster. President Trump's tweeting about what he calls a spy scandal, the likes of which this country may never have seen before. There's a meeting tomorrow where two Republican committee chairmen will be briefed about a confidential FBI source who'd been in contact with the Trump campaign before his election. Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer says about no Democrats being invited to that meeting.
It's unprecedented, it's outrageous, and it has overtones of things that would be done in a banana republic.
White House spokeswoman Sarah Sanders says Democrats have not asked for information about the FBI's source. A chunk of molten rock, a lava bomb, spit from a crack in a volcano in Hawaii nearly cut a man's leg in half. Daryl Clinton says he was trying to defend homes with a fire extinguisher and a garden hose when he got hit.
It's just incredibly powerful and hot.
He's had 2 surgeries and can wiggle his toes now. He says for the most part, the volcano's been putting on a great show and he's been enjoying the eruption. Fox News, we report, you decide.
When you're hiring, you don't want to sort through dozens of irrelevant resumes. You want an efficient way to get to a short list of qualified candidates. That's why you need Indeed.com. Post a job in minutes. Set up screener questions based on your job requirements. Then zero in on qualified candidates using our intuitive online dashboard. Discover why 3 million businesses use Indeed for hiring. Post a job today at Indeed.com/hire. Search for greatness. Search Indeed.
Dad, what are you doing?
Cramming for college.
I'm the one going to college.
Yeah, but we need to figure out how we're going to pay for it all.
Discover Student Loans.
Discover does student loans?
Yeah, they're one of the top student loan lenders in the country. It takes 15 minutes or less to apply, and there are no fees for the life of the loan. Best of all, I can earn cash rewards if I get good grades.
Really?
Yeah, we still have time to apply and get a great rate.
So I can just chill. College kids still say that, right?
No one says that, Dad.
Really?
Yeah.
Visit discoverstudentloans.com to apply today. Limitations apply.
You look upset.
I just don't know how we're going to handle everything coming up these next few weeks. Graduation, Father's Day, Natalie's wedding.
Tell you what, make a list of all the events and what you want to serve. Then just call Honey Baked Ham at 861-0011. They'll prepare everything to perfection and they'll even deliver.
Where are they? I may just go by.
2709 Southwest 27th Avenue, just behind Best Buy.
I'm going to use Honey Baked Ham for everything.
Honey Baked Ham, making every day a special occasion.
The very best in quality is Captain T's Upholstery.
Is that couch cushion sinking lower every time you sit in it? Does your boat look better with the cover on? Has your car's interior seen its better days? Stop using a towel to cover up those rips in the golf cart. Isn't it about time you had it restored to better than new with a custom upholstery from Captain T? Captain T's Upholstery has been right here in Ocala for nearly 20 years, so they know how to make your ride one of a kind. Whether you want to take that classic ride back to a factory look or put your favorite sports team front and center, Captain T's Upholstery is who to call. 352-369-1810. That's 352-369-1810. Or stop by their location, 5030 South Pine Avenue in Ocala, just past the drive-in. And of course, don't forget to visit them on the web, CaptainTUpholstery.com.
The very best in quality is Captain T's Upholstery.
Here is your 1-minute news brief from the source WOCA. The Marion County Sheriff's Office is reporting a shooting in Summerfield yesterday evening that left one man in critical condition and another man in stable condition. A series of sinkholes has opened in the water retention area on the campus of Forest High School. The parents of slain Florida teen Trayvon Martin say the Weinstein Company owes them at least $150,000 for optioning the rights to their book in order to make a yet unaired television series based on their son's legacy. The League of Women Voters and students from the University of Florida and FSU have sued Florida's chief election official over a 4-year-old edict banning the use of college buildings as early voting sites. Democratic legislators have failed in their bid to force the Republican-controlled legislature to give more money to public schools, and Disney World has launched an online system for lost and found items. And that is your news brief from the source.
The weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Safe boating is no accidents. More clouds and sun and rather humid on this Wednesday.